Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to turn a little suitcase I bought online into a small palette for watercolors. I hope you'll stay tuned. I got this really cute little luggage. I think I got it on AliExpress, but I'll make sure I find it somewhere online. See how it has the little, it's a briefcase, it's not luggage. I make that up. Anyway, when I saw it, I thought, wouldn't that be fun for watercolors? Because I got this really small set of Daniel Smith watercolors. And by small, that's how big they are. Very small. And I thought it'd be really fun to turn this into a palette. So the first thing I did is I tore out the, we'll call it velvet. It's not really velvet. And I pulled out this side too. I don't know if I'm going to take out this because I think that's the thing that holds it together besides these little hinges. So I'm going to leave that little piece of velvet in. Then the next thing I did, this is in case you don't have a laminating machine. If you have a laminator, you could laminate white paper, which ultimately is what I'm going to do. Well, I'm not really going to laminate. I'm just going to glue it to this. What you would do is you would laminate white paper and then you'd have the shiny surface to put in here as a mixing surface. But I'm going to do it in case you don't have any tools. I want to make sure you can still do this project. So what I did was I took this piece, because that's the side I'm going to do that on, and I put it on this plastic and I traced it with a Sharpie. Can you see that black? And now all I'm going to do is get my scissors, and then all we're going to do is we're going to cut this out. Okay, then I'm going to put it up against this and we're going to trim it out because it makes it a lot easier if you can just do it like this. And you want this, when you do this part, you're going to want it to be as straight as possible so that when you put it in your container, it's going to fit and you're not going to have weird jagged edges. I still might have weird jagged edges. I'm just saying what you're going to want. Clean that up a little bit and see if we can get it in here. Oh, hard to believe it's a good fit. Next up, we're going to take our plastic and put it up against some paper. And that's how we're going to create our blending area. We want to be able to see what we're blending, and the best way to do that is to have a white surface. I'm making this just a little bit bigger in case my plastic needs a little bit of backing, to hold it in place. I'm not going to glue this in because I'm afraid, now I better glue it in, huh? I was thinking if I ever had to replace it, how would I do that? But we're going to go with it anyway. This glue I'm using is for metal, glass, and jewelry. I'm assuming it'll work for paper, but since half of it is metal, we're going with that idea. And I'm going to glue the edges to the center. I know I don't need this much, but we're going with it anyway. And then, before I glue this in, I need to attach these two to each other. I think I'm just going to use some tear tape for that. So I've got my tear tape on here, and I just need to line this up, hopefully, so that my plastic and my paper become one. Now, if I'm going to cut anything off, I'm going to cut off this side because of that black edge that I'm not crazy about from my Sharpie. But these are the things that happen when you make your own projects. And since I'm the only one that's going to be using this, I don't think anybody's going to care. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. Okay, we've got our glue in there. I'm just going to push this down in. And just so in case you were wondering, before I pulled everything out, I made sure that my pans would fit in here and that I would end up having a case I could close. I'm just going to run my scissors over this, back and forth, up and down, just to make sure that the glue and the paper adhere to each other. There's our mixing station. Then I was going to use magnets to attach the the pans to this, but this isn't metal, so the magnets didn't attach. So that was a bummer. So I'm going to have to do glue again. That's unfortunate, but these things happen. I was thinking maybe I would fill the pans before I put them in there. And I have full pans, and the reason I have full pans is because I have trouble using half pans. I can't get my brush in them, and it's just one of those unfortunate things that it is what it is. So I use the full pans. You can use half pans if you want to. And I have this little tool. It was very inexpensive, but it's made to squeeze all of the paint out of your tubes. I find I have better luck if I squeeze some of the paint out and then put it in here. Make sure I'm cranking it the right way. That's the other problem I always have, is which way is the way to crank it. And make sure that I don't have a big mess. This is really good quality paint, so I don't want to waste any of it. That's why I'm being very careful. Well, let me see if I can pull it out and squeeze it. I might have to have Rich do this part. I finished my palette, and this set is made, it's specifically called the Essential Watercolor Mixing Set. So I thought we would mix some colors, and I would walk you through how you mix essential colors. Now, in this set, hopefully you can see these are the colors. This is, I don't know if it's Hansa or Hansa, Yellow Light. This is New Gamboge, sorry I said that wrong. This one is Quinacridone Rose. This is Pyrrole Scarlet. This is Ultramarine Blue, and that is Phthalo Blue. I put them in my chicken so that I can mix them better. And this is what they show you that they look like once you've mixed them. And they have, I think there's a bigger, yeah. This is what theirs looks like. Now they grade, hold on, I'll move this out of the way a little bit. They grade out these. That is where the pure color goes. So this is where the Hansa Yellow Light is, and the New Gamboge, when you're mixing both the Hansa Yellow and the Hansa Yellow. Now, the way I'm going to be mixing these is the top named color is going to be the primary in the mix, and then the one that's on the side is going to be the secondary color. That way you'll see that when you mix this darker than this, it'll be a different shade than here, where you have New Gamboge as the primary color and the Hansa Yellow Light as the secondary color. You'll understand it better as we go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get some of our Hansa Yellow, and then we're going to take a little bit of the New Gamboge, and we're going to mix them together. And if I did it right, it should look like this. Can you see that? Okay. Then I'm going to do it in the opposite. I'm going to add more of the New Gamboge and less of the Hansa Yellow Light. And then we'll be able to see the difference. I did dry all of these colors, so they shouldn't mix. And so, those colors should be dry. Then I'm going to go on to, again, the Hansa Yellow Light is our primary color. I'm going to add more of that to our palette. I put that over here. And I'm going to get some of the quinacridone rose. Not a ton. And we're going to mix that with it. Hopefully you can see how much I'm putting in of each color. That makes a really pretty color. And we're going to see as we do this how close I am to mixing the way they do it. You know, like their results are. So this is the quinacridone rose with the Hansa yellow. I'm trying not to get close to my edge. Then this time I'm going to do the Hansa yellow with the quinacridone rose, where the quinacridone rose is my primary color. So I'm going to clean my brush, and I'm going to take this off the side because there's quite a bit there. I might have to put a little bit more of that in there. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a little bit more. Our goal here is to make sure that we're getting colors that are different based on which of the primary colors we're using. In this case, we use more of the quinacridone rose than we did of the Hansa yellow. I'm going to put a little bit more in there because theirs is a little bit darker than mine. So I'm going to try a little bit more. And I just blotted it off. I'm going to make sure my brush isn't too wet. That is that color. That looks pretty similar to what theirs does. Okay. Then we're going to go with the yellow. Again, not that one. That's my mixing one, sorry. This one. And the Pyrrole Scarlet. Not as much. Ooh, I think I got too much. I'm going to get more of that yellow in there so that I don't screw it up too much. Scarlet. Why is it so orange when it doesn't look too orange there? I'm not sure about that. I'm going to put more yellow in there just to see. Just to make sure. Not completely sure, but I'm going to put more red in there because I'm trying to match it up to that color right there. And mine is way, way too orange compared to theirs. So I'm going to get more of the red. I'm not sure I understand that. I would have thought it would have been, I don't know, redder. Okay. And less orange? I don't know. I know I used the right colors. Not sure why. Okay, this time we're going to add a lot more of the red. Scarlet, sorry, because we want to make it the scarlet to be our primary color. And that's what it looks like right there. This one is closer to the color on their grid than the other one was. Not sure why. Then the next one is our yellow. Oh, the killer's outside. We have this stray cat that has adopted us, and the dogs don't like it, that it's by our garage. It's really afraid of people, but it's very thin, and I can't stand to have a thin animal, so I've got to feed it. And Rich being the sweet man that he is, he's feeding it for me. And it runs away. As soon as Rich comes out with the food, it runs away, and then it comes back right away and eats. I'm going to put some of that. That is the French ultramarine. I think in this one I need more of the yellow. All right. Whoop, I use these Q-tips for whenever I do things like this where I accidentally get two colors that I don't want mixed. Okay. So I'm just going to put this green right there. Okay, then I'm going to put more of the blue in it. I don't know why theirs shows almost a blue. I mean, it's not like you're gonna, I guess they are gonna do that. I don't know. And I'm just gonna keep putting blue in it till I get closer to that color. Well, okay, I guess we're going with it. Then okay, then our last with the yellow is we're going to do yellow and phthalo blue. And phthalo blue. Ooh, that's a pretty green. I don't know why theirs always seem to be blue. Why are they blue like that? I don't know. It makes no sense to me at all. We're going to put more yellow in it because we want to make sure that... Alright, I'm going with that color. I don't know. It's not at all what they show. Okay, so I have made my, I've added the colors at the top and down the side so that mine would match the mixed colors that they have in this. And if you can walk your way down, this bottom one of course is phthalo blue, and then as it goes up, then this one is French ultramarine. So you can ignore the ones that, I don't know if you can see, I've made this big outline around each one. That is all the color that's at the top and the side. It's that color. So if that didn't make sense, I don't know. And if you look, for the most part, my colors are pretty good. This third one up, which is a mixture of the Pyrrole Scarlet and French Ultramarine, mine is a little bit browner, but the rest of them are pretty close. And then in this one, the Hansa Yellow and the Pyrrole Scarlet is a lot stronger, so clearly I mixed too much of the scarlet into that one. And then the rest of that one is pretty good. And then the next one, I think that one's good. These two are good. These two are good. This one, which is this color, it's mine is a lot more dark. And for some reason, I'm not sure how they ended up mixing a yellow and a blue and they got a blue. I don't know how that happened. And then the one again above it, they mixed the yellow and the blue and they got another blue. I have no clue how that's possible because yellow and blue makes green. So I don't know how that's, it's beyond me. And then this quinacridone rose and the Hansa yellow, theirs is much more red than mine. I don't know why, but it is. And the rest are the same. So when you try to do mixing, I hope that gave you an idea of how to do mixing. If you use, when you use one color as your stronger color and another color as your weaker color, you're going to get this combination. And then if you use the reverse of it, would be if on, like in this case, if I'm using quinacridone rose and as my stronger color, then with all of these, then that's how you come out with, when you mix this. Well, let me show you the opposite. When you mix quinacridone rose with Hansa yellow and you don't use a lot of it, then you get more orange. But if you use more of the rose color, then you get almost a pinky orange. And then with the scarlet, let's do a different color. If you do the phthalo blue and the scarlet, I'm going to do it this way. There's the phthalo blue and the scarlet right there. If you do the scarlet and the phthalo blue, where the scarlet is the stronger color, then you're going to get this black color. When the blue is the primary color, then you get more of a brown color. It's interesting how just by changing the amounts, you get different colors. Anyway, I thought this was fun. I hope that you learned a little bit about mixing. This is a nice set that Daniel Smith has. They also give you a bottle of this watercolor ground, and it lets you create paintable surfaces on any flat or three-dimensional surface. I haven't played with that, but I think it looks like this. It's a little bottle. Haven't played with that, but at some point I will. So I hope you enjoyed this, that you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.